Welcome again to another Friday live stream. We are again in another lockdown, unfortunately, but one that's not quite as bad as it was earlier in the year. In fact, it's actually not too bad. Certainly not for the housing market, which we'll come on to in a bit. But essentially, it's still positive, isn't it, Howard? That's the main thing. We know the market's good, and we want to convey that positivity over to people. And we'll try and do that today and give you some hints, tips on what you can do to sort of help buyers, tenants find your property and achieve a sale, get sold during this time. So, obviously, Howard, you weren't with us last week. It was myself and Matt that took over the reins last week. How's things with you? Well, everything all right? A nice bit of time off?
I managed to escape for half a day last Friday. So, you were both duly missed. We all knew this lockdown was coming anyway, to be perfectly honest with you. But good news is, which we'll lead to in a minute, is that we're still open and we're still going. But, I mean, locally, covering Preston and Lancaster, a few things that Lancaster County Council, they've made some changes in response to this new national lockdown, which obviously came into effect yesterday. Some of these changes are to registration services, such as like your libraries, your museums, public transport, and this is all in response to the new government legislation nationwide. Basically, you can't go into libraries anymore, you can't go browsing. However, the majority they are offering this click and collect service. You can click and collect it. I don't know what they do, whether they put them in packages and put them outside the library door. I mean, I don't even know whether you've still got library cards anymore. I've no idea. But anyway, they're still doing that. So they're doing that aspect. You people like your museums, the Clitheroe Castle Museum, up in Lancaster, you've got the Judge Lodges Museum. They're all closed. Okay, so all the other aspects that people don't really look into are, like, for example, your park and ride. Your park and ride, obviously, it's there to help people come into the city centres, okay, to enable them to park, to do the shops. But with all the shops closed unless they're essential, the park and ride have followed suit. So park and ride services in Preston, Lancaster close. The last bus is this evening, Friday, 6th November. That's going to cease. The Lancaster park and ride, ironically, you'll know that more than me where it is. I believe it's near the motorway exit, I think you mentioned to me. The park and ride shut, but the car park, that's where people park the cars, is going to remain open for parking for people to walk into the city centre. And also, apparently with Lancaster there, there's electric charges for the vehicles, so it's quite handy. There's also going to be, in my area here, there's going to be a drive-through coronavirus testing facility situated in Watmerdale Park and Ride sites. Where that Watmerdale Park and Ride site is, they're going to have a coronavirus drive-through, really. Okay. But apart from that, all the areas are kind of shut. But a bit of a positive now. I don't know why I always seem to come back to pubs and restaurants. I was reading this morning, actually, there's going to be a new listing platform. Now, if you're interested, as in, I'll come to it, restaurants, pubs, takeaways, bakeries, all that, you can go on. There's a website called Search in your area. So these establishments can list the services on there. And if you're looking for, let's just say, I don't know, some rolls of bread to be delivered to your house, or a meal, or maybe some real ale, you can actually go on this website. So there's a listing platform which allows hospitality businesses to list all their takeaway offerings and advertise them to millions of their readers. The best thing about it is it's free for the proprietors to advertise on there. So from today, that search tool, all you do is you go in, so it's search in your area, go in, put your postcode in, it'll tell you what takeaways, what bakeries, etc. are in your area, and they'll do a free delivery. So any restaurant, pub, bar, brewery interested in it, go on there as well. So I don't know about you, Kev, if that would be any interest to you.
Yeah, definitely. It's good that they can continue to trade, can't isn't it? For not to be shut down again for 4 weeks, it's just disastrous for a lot of
businesses. I dare say some of these won't reopen. Some of them won't reopen.
No,
and that's the problem. So I think where they can take advantage of doing it, click and collect online and deliveries, I think, fair play to them and good. So this platform has been put in place to help these businesses. It doesn't cost anything to register your details on there, so register on it and see if it can help. I know there's, in all honesty, I saw there's a few local pubs there where I am, restaurants, that they're doing doing that facility. You can ring up and you can order, and they're actually doing. There's one of the ones, you can ring up and order a starter, a main meal, and a drink. For example, it could be a bottle of beer or a small bottle of wine or a bottle of soft drink, and they do that for takeaway. So whether they're going to register for them to be delivered, I don't know, but takeaway service is. I think what we should all do where we can is try and help these people as well. Put
Shop
some money
local.
Back into it.
Shop local.
I think. I mean, obviously, that's what that Eat Out to Help Out was suggested to do, but of course, that had other implications as well, which probably has caused this next lockdown, in all honesty. But I do think where we can help out, let's help out.
Yeah, well, it's only 4 weeks, not as long, definitely not long, and the government have said that we will definitely be coming out of it on the 2nd of December. So fingers crossed that'll be the case.
But actually, just incidentally, Kevin, I was listening today on the radio when I was out and about in the car. Lancashire, so we're all in Lancashire. It's actually the R rate, as it's called, has dropped over the last 2 days.
Yeah.
Which is encouraging,
It is. So fingers crossed it's all fine, and then December's good, and we can enjoy a nice Christmas with family. It's much needed for mental health.
I think that's what's behind it, isn't it? I think they're trying to do that. Close it down now, get it out of the way, and give the nation a bit of a happiness, something to look forward to with family time and so forth. I saw a joke the other day with some policeman knocking on a door, basically just saying, "We're arresting you." Why? We're breaking the lockdown rule. We've not got a lockdown rule. Well, you've just ordered a £20 turkey. There's only 2 of you live here, so you're going to be having some people around your house. So it's not really funny, is it? But it was when I read it. It's the way I told it, Kevin.
Don't give up your day job, pal. You're better at a state agency and being a local expert than a comedian. So
I know. When I first started telling that, I thought keep
it up.
Shut your mouth, yeah.
Anyway,
but we're still open. We're still open. On the positive end.
The housing market is still open. We're still open, and we're not working out of any high street office. All of our team are working from home. You guys should not notice any difference to that at all, to be honest with you. 99.9% of leads come from the internet or telephone. There's very seldom do people come into office anymore, so you should not notice any difference to the level of service that you get from us. We're still there at the end of the phone and the email and the social media messages, everything. So we're here. Should people need it, and as will the whole market. The whole market's still open. The government guidance hasn't changed even during this lockdown. The latest government guidance, which you can find on the government website, is still dated in August. So that means that viewings, valuations, all these things can still take place in people's houses. Just being safe, basically. Making sure that you're COVID safe, making sure that we've masks and social distancing, people going out, all that sort of thing. So it can still happen, but we want to talk about some things that you can or we can do as estate agents to try and help people buy and let houses. Help people find the right house. Cut down on those physical viewings, because if you can't avoid people coming into your house, that's got to be better for everyone, hasn't it? The more people think we can do virtually, the better. So we've got a couple of bits of things that we do that we wanted to show you. That if you've not got these sort of things with your current agent, speak to them about it, get them to do these sort of things, because it can only help, and it can only keep people safe by doing things virtually first. Anyway, you can, if you've got a list of 10 properties, if you can chuck 4, 5, 6 of those off instantly, then that's because of the quality of these products, and that's got to be much better, hasn't it, for everyone? So
it is, Gav. You're right.
Kevin,
you're right what you're saying.
Talk about it.
You're right what you're saying. And early on in the week, when we had this lockdown, I know just before we go on to that, I did a bit of a social media video, because we were hearing loads of noises of people concerned about what's happening with the market, what's it closing down, blah blah blah. And one of the things that I said, look, the market's really really strong, and just this is leading in actually to what you're going to show in a second. And from over the last weekend, this isn't big and us up, but this is just trying to demonstrate to people out there this is what can happen. So last weekend we sale agreed 4 houses from people who are actually physically walking through the door. And we did this by means of what Kevin's going to show you in a second. So the importance of this is for you guys out there to speak to your estate agent to see if they can do something similar for you, because it does help. So what Kevin's got on the screen there now that people can see is it's an example of a 360-degree video tour that we provide for our clients. So basically, you can see from outside this particular property here, you can actually scan down the road. You can it's 360. That's what you can actually do. So on each kind of frame, each picture, you can see that there's a heading for example, there now you can see a heading in the beginning where it says hallway. So if Kevin clicks on that, you can actually, it takes you forward. Now, for there, if you're not, like, for example, I didn't see the lounge there. I should have gone to the lounge. So Kevin can actually go back to the lounge by clicking that. When that will then flick him into the lounge. So it enables you to look round that room safely from distance if you're a viewer, and if you're a vendor, you've got someone looking around your home safely. And this, I'll remind you, actually, this is 24/7. So they can look round at your property, they can zoom in, they can, if they want, they can say, is there a television point there? And when we go to the kitchen, I'll show you more of an example of that in a second. And it's fantastic because they can go on 24/7. And also, incidentally, you sellers out there, there's nothing worse is that when the estate agent rings you and says, listen, I've got someone that wants to come and view it, and you look around the house and you think, oh hell, I've got to start tidying up. This actually helps you there as well, because you only have to ever tidy that once for this particular viewings. So people can go around, it's safe for you and safe for them. So over this last weekend, to reiterate, we celebrated 4 houses from people doing exactly what we're seeing here. So back to, so where are we going now, Kevin?
Yeah, so I was just showcasing, what we can do and how we can sort of walk around.
Yeah.
And we've got another video
the other
that
format.
can show.
We do 2 formats, and this is one particular one. So the advantage of this is that the viewer takes control of what they view, so they can view it as if they're there, you know. And the good thing about it is the next format in a minute we'll show you is it's a great walkthrough. But this one is if you think, I missed that, can I go back? Yes, you can, and you're not limited in how long you're on this. You can go back and forth, and it just enables people. And the good thing about it, another good thing about it, is you're watching it, so the viewer is looking at your property, and they want a second opinion. They can copy that link, they can send it to their friend, they can show it their husband, they can show it their wife, they can show it the rest of the family. So it enables more people to have a look at that property to get a second opinions, and then when they do make an appointment to physically go and have a look at the house, for you sellers out there, they're probably 80% there of putting an offer in, and they're only really going just to ensure that they feel okay in the accommodations. So it cuts down the number of viewings you have, makes you and your house safer.
It does.
It showcases your property 24/7.
And
so we do this format. This is the 360-degree one where the viewer's in control.
So
we also put another format on, which is
so just before I go off to that. So this one as well is that we can be involved with the viewer. So if there's a viewer wanting us to show it round, is that we can actually take control as well. So we can both meet in this virtual space. It's available on a desktop computer. It's available on your mobile phone, and we can sit virtually and control it and go around together. With this one, so sorry, Howard. I just wanted to point that out.
No, you're right. I mean, to be honest with you, it skipped my mind that you're right, because we do have in our diaries virtual viewings booked in. So, for argument's sake, Mr. Jones wants to. Look at this property here. This is in Hutton in Lancashire, right? In Preston, should say. So, Mr. Jones wants to go and view this property. He can't get there for a specific time, but he can do it from his laptop in his home in Manchester, for argument's sake. So we book that in, and like Kevin rightly said, he can take control, or we can take control, showing them around the property, telling them about the boiler, telling them exactly where everything is, and so forth. We can go back and forth. It's as if you're actually there. This second format here now is a walkthrough video that we produce to enable people as if they're actually physically walking through the property. And when you actually see when you go through, it's very much, I won't say a snail's pace, but it's very much time is taken to ensure that your property showcased in the best possible way, as if someone is actually walking in there. So again, speak to your estate agent and do they have something like this that could help you? Help get people interested in your door, through the door, interested in your house, whilst keeping you safe.
Yeah,
I think that's the key thing. And you know what, going forward, even after all this lockdown, I do think that most estate agents will look at doing this aspect of it. I know that ourselves, you know, in all honesty, we've done this for the best part of 12 to 18 months, you know, and it's just, I think we've always done, but so when we had that initial lockdown, we were lucky enough to say we already have these tools in place. But I think, speak to your estate agent. If you like the look at this and it would help your property and you're on the market and you've only just got your photographs or a slideshow, maybe contact them, see if you can get something like this sorted. Well, I mean, to be honest, I'll tell you what, Kevin, I'll just stick it out there. I'd like a bit, if it's okay when you guys out there, if you could possibly give me some feedback what your thoughts are on both formats, maybe which one you prefer or what you like about it, and if there's anything you don't like about it as well, you know. That's interesting.
That's that good feedback. We always want to improve what we're doing, but so it'd be great to get some feedback on that. But I think the main thing is if you are trying to sell your house in a time where, or trying to let your house sell or let your house in a time where people are rightly worried about necessarily entering people's houses and homes to be COVID safe, then these two methods should become standard practice. They're not, they're great, absolutely brilliant products. Let's say you've got the full walkthrough that we're looking at here, or we've got the one where it's interactive, where the viewer can actually take control. Both options are absolutely brilliant. And as Howard White said, we have sold properties ourselves from these without people stepping in within the property, keeping vendors and viewers safe.
One of the ones that I did myself, one of the ones I did myself, this is just really to show the emphasis on the strength of these for you guys out there. If you can get your estate agents to do it. One of the properties that I sold, it's okay, ring it up. I like that. I want to put an offer in, and we do start the sales process and that. But one of the ones I did in Preston was I showed a young lady that first off not that particular house, off an apartment actually, and she rang up the company that I was selling it for on behalf of and put a reservation fee down on. Which that I think that underlines the strength of it, because houses, apartments, whatever. And Kevin will show you afterwards the figures that are coming on the market. There's less coming to the market, like we've said every week, and there's miles more selling. And I think the figures we said the other week, I think it was 40% up on this time last year on selling. So it just shows you that it puts the urgency into your buyers out there.
Yeah, well, I'll come on to that. We'll have a look at that as a presentation. While we're here and talking about the information. So as you're saying there, Howard, the figures are quite good. And this is for June to October, full data now. So we've been looking at it partway through October. This is all the data now. We want to find out where we're at. So as Howard said. New instructions. I mean, this is the LA postcode. As you can see at the top there. New instructions. I mean, they're as near as damn it equal. Let's call it equal. For the same period.
I like that. Let's call it. No, that's unbelievable.
So that's
those figures.
So that's the.
Are you going to do the sales ones now?
So this is the sales one. So we know 911. That figure hasn't changed. 1,284. June to October this year, which is 41%.
It is. I'm going to say 40% up. That's ironic. I've been telling people it's 40% up, and that that's amazing. That.
So Howard, Preston, amazingly, he's a long way down still. New instructions, the confidence coming to the market just isn't quite there like it is in.
What's that? Have you done that? Have you worked that out as a percentage?
Yeah. So that's just under 19% down, basically.
Okay.
On the same period last year, but again, the sales just speak for themselves again.
I tell you what, on that one that you said was down then. So over the 5 months, it's down. Was it 19%? When we did it for October, the month of October, the common houses going on, it's down 31%. So to me, that indicates that probably the last month there's been even less coming on, which is what, hasn't it? So that in October it was 31% down, but overall it's 19% down. So as the years progress, there's less coming on the market. But on the sales up, so you're near as damn 40%, aren't we?
Yeah, near as damn. The both sales areas are so strong, so strong. It is amazing. Just to say what you were saying about the new instructions. Let's have a just look at the PR postcode sectors. So October 19 was 307, 274 it was in October this year, so there's a few down there. The biggest one was a bit earlier on, so as we came out of lockdown, the June, July, August, those were 3 really massive months in for new properties coming onto the market for Preston in 2019. 308 in June, 377 in July, and 386 in August. So that was 2019, really big numbers. This year, Lancaster had a really big influence. As soon as we came out of lockdown, it went straight up basically. Preston
It did, didn't it? Yeah.
never has. So 236 June this year, 280 July this year, and 262 August this year. You know, so I mean, June itself was down 70 almost. July was down.
Yeah, it's.
What was July down? Nearly 100. You know, so it's those months, those 3 months. It's been better as you got.
Are we going to find then, Kev? I'll just put this thought. Are we going to find? You think that? So these houses that are selling, there's not that much going on the market. Are we going to find that people are either going to sell and maybe move into rented? You know, if they can't find it, because there's less going on the market, so they might not find anything to go to. So they might not want to lose. They don't want to lose their buyer. Or are they going to go into rented? Or are they going to live with family?
I think we've seen a few like that where people have just moved, and because it's so busy now. The flip side of that is the rental market. There is I haven't looked in Preston. I apologise, but in the Lancaster area, there's basically nothing available for more than a few days. I think one property we had, I think we had 35 people wanting to look at this one property. It was you know, the rental market is also busy, so it is going to be difficult for people to get rental stock, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the same here. A lady I was talking to today on a viewing, she rang up about a property that she saw came on a couple of days. So whatever day it came on at, she rang up that day, and it'd gone already. So it's very much mirroring that aspect of it then, really. So it will be interesting because available stock, there's not as much stock there available for people to look at, you know, so but that's now, we're coming to a time of year where it is naturally going to get a bit slower, you know. That's not to say that there's not stuff out there to buy, you know. There's definitely stuff coming to the market still, but there is.
You know, it's going to be buyers that are definitely going to tail off now as you get through this lockdown, and then the lockdown finishes in December, and you've got Christmas. You know, so you need to do as much as you can to allow people to see your properties. I think mentioning the 24/7 access of the 360 tours and the walkthrough videos that we were just showcasing before. So
talk to your estate agent see what they can do for you. But, you know, and there's various different forms. Well, we finally work really well, don't we?
Yeah, we do very much so. So do what you can to help sell your house, help let your house. It's definitely going to be quieter with buyers because of the lockdown. There is stuff that your agent can do. You can still go out and do all the stuff you could do in September, October. That's all still available. Just you've got to watch buyer confidence because of what's going on. So the more virtual things you can do, the better.
Of course it is, yeah.
So make sure you speak to your agent, but most importantly, you know, keep yourself safe. You know, keep yourself safe, guys, and we'll be out of this lockdown in no time, and hopefully we'll kick COVID to one side sooner rather than later.
Kick it somewhere anyway.
Kick it somewhere, yeah.
Kick it somewhere anyway, Kev.
All right, so I think we'll leave it there. I think we've probably going to take up more than enough of people's time in the last 25 minutes. But again, there's some good stuff there. Is
Matthew back next week? Matthew back next week?
He's not. Matthew is not back next week. He's off next week as well. It's gallivanting. So just us two again. People might not like that. fancy one, Matthew back.
Anyway.
The pretty boy back. But anyway, yeah, no, really good. You know, if anyone's got any questions, please drop a comment on the stream itself or contact us directly. And we're here to help. We're here to help. All right, guys. So have a lovely weekend. Do what you can in lockdown, and stay safe. And we'll see you again next week.
See you next week.
Bye bye.